Oh, good boy, Patriot. Good dog. Good boy. Yes. Patriot is a German Shepherd. He was purchased from Germany. The captain in charge of the National German Police K-9 Division actually selected Patriot and flew over with him. His commands, therefore, were all in German, and I simply just stuck with what worked best for him. Platz, Sitz, Fuss. Good boy. Good dog. We use him for his sense of smell to locate narcotics, to track a suspect who has fled from a crime scene, or to locate a missing child. Additionally, we use his nose for finding evidence that has been left or taken from a crime scene, as well as missing property. I had previously worked with a former K-9 handler on a couple calls, and I was impressed with the capabilities of the dog, which piqued my interest in applying for the program. I did talk the program over with my wife. The things that she and I discussed were, we have 2 children, do we want the responsibility of a second dog as well? What kind of takeaway would that be for family time? How much time would I be putting into it? Maintaining a balance with work and the dog's needs and family's needs has been our biggest challenge. Sometimes I'm called away on scheduled things, and other times the canine calls are unpredictable, and sometimes they seem to come at the very worst time. Family dinners, date nights, grocery shopping, you name it, I've been called away from it. But they seem to be very excited about it and have remained as such. The only thing that I do hear is, I wish you had a job that just didn't take you away so much. We train practically every day. However, once a week, Patriot and I go to the New Hampshire Working Dog Foundation at the K-9 Academy in the Seacoast area, and we have about 8 hours of formal canine training. The first 2 weeks with Patriot were more bonding. We didn't do any training. I suspect that in Germany he was probably a kennel dog taken out for training scenarios and put back away. He had probably never been part of a family until he joined my family. Aside from having kids, having the dog is probably one of the hardest things I've ever done. There's a lot of time and energy that we put into the dog. In addition to the training, there's care and maintenance, which would include feeding, walking, boarding. If I go on vacation or I go to visit somebody, I either need to find some place safe for K-9 Patriot to stay, or he comes with us. When I first got Patriot, I would set up various training scenarios at Otterbrook Dam, and my son would just kind of play in the woods, and Dana, who was probably only 1.5, 2 years old, would be in her little Kelly backpack along for the ride. So the kids basically grew up with me training Patriot.
I go on dog tracks with him, and I play with Patriot and Daddy in the yard. Well, I take one of Patriot's toy and I make like a track, and then Patriot comes in and tries to find me.
The most rewarding part of having the K-9 is we as police generally do not deal with people at their best. Even if they're not angry with us for something, we're dealing with them when it's not a good time in their life. It's not a positive experience for them. Having the K-9 is actually the first time throughout my entire law enforcement career where people were actually just happy to see us.
Josh is an extremely knowledgeable, effective handler. His Patriot is an exceptional working dog. He lives to work. In his off time, he doesn't always seem to know what to do with himself. And a good example of that is he can't just lay around the house and relax. He patrols the house, like walks his post, for lack of a better term. So as far as him being a cuddle bug up on the couch with me, that's not within his personality. He's not interested in doing that. 1998 is when I got Nico. Neither one of my children were born yet, so every waking moment and non-waking moment Nico and I were together. I mean, if you can imagine that, he came to work with me and came on vacations with us. It was every waking moment. So we just formed that a bond that it's very hard to put into words.
I get to live and work with one of my best friends. He's always there for me. The thing about every dog is, no matter how bad your day at work is, you can come home, the dog's always glad to see you. So no matter how bad of a call it's been or how awful an event it is, he's always happy that I'm with him.
Well, I know that Daddy's not as lonely when he works.
How was Nico a friend to me? Well, how do most people define friendships? Friendships are people that you tell things to that you wouldn't tell to just anybody, right? Friends are people who we feel listen to us. Friends are with you through thick and thin. He did every one of those. Yeah, he didn't talk back, but he communicated, and we understood each other. There's some canine handlers that, they'll work a dog, and then whenever that dog's ready to retire for health reasons or whatever, they'll work another dog. But I just felt what Nico and I had was special. And I just, he was the one that I wanted to have that bond with.
Knock on wood, K-9 Patriot has remained relatively healthy. So we're hoping to at least work him for the next 2 to 3 years, which would mean he'd retire around 9. I think I'll be talking to myself a lot in the car when K-9 Patriot retires. I'm very comfortable having him with me all the time. The few times that I am in a police car without K-9 Patriot, for whatever reason, I do feel differently.
What was the most challenging part about having a K-9 partner? It was having to retire him. I just enjoyed every part, every bit of being a K-9 handler. He had he had a good retirement. He had about a 3-year plus retirement where, he didn't have to worry about anything. He got to sleep on the couch. He didn't have to pass his tests every year, and he grew accustomed to it somewhat. Nico passed away when he was 12 years old, and he's right over my right shoulder right now. So I like to think that he still is my partner. It still guides me in some of the decisions. We all have these decisions in life, no matter what you do, and sometimes you just need to take lean back in your chair and, kind of think things through. So as I'm doing that, I physically sometimes lean back in my chair and I just look up at him. So I still think he's kind of always with me. Not that he makes the decisions. I don't want to give you the wrong idea, but it's comforting to know that he's still with me.
Patriot and I pretty much learned together how to work as a team. And then when you put all that training and all the time and energy and effort together and you actually have success in the field, it's an unbelievable feeling of accomplishment.